Albert Einstein's brain was stolen after his death. Pathologist Thomas Stoltz Harvey took it without permission for research. Albert Einstein, the greatest mind of the 20th century. His theories on relativity and quantum physics reshaped our understanding of the universe, time, space, and reality itself. But after his death, something shocking and deeply unsettling happened. On April 18, 1955, Einstein was admitted to Princeton Hospital in New Jersey. He had suffered an abdominal aortic aneurysm, a rupture in the main blood vessel leading to his heart. He knew his time was running out. In his final moments, Einstein reportedly muttered a few words in German, words that no one ever recorded or understood. Moments later, he passed away. He was 76 years old. But what happened after his death would spark one of the strangest and most controversial stories in scientific history. Thomas Stoltz Harvey was the pathologist on duty that day. He was the man tasked with performing Einstein's autopsy. But Harvey didn't just examine the body, he made a decision that would change the course of history. Without permission from Einstein's family, Harvey carefully removed Einstein's brain from his skull. He believed that the brain of the greatest scientist in history could hold the secret to human genius. Harvey preserved the brain in formaldehyde and took it to a small laboratory in Princeton. There, he began a detailed process of dissecting it. He cut Einstein's brain into 240 thin slices, some no thicker than a human hair. Each piece was mounted onto microscope slides and stored in mason jars filled with alcohol. But it didn't stop there. Harvey photographed every section and measured every fold, every ridge, and every crevice of the brain. He even weighed it. It came in at 1,230 grams, slightly smaller than the average adult brain. So what made Einstein's brain different? Harvey reached out to scientists around the world, sending out small pieces for research. And the results were unusual. Researchers discovered that Einstein's brain contained a significantly higher ratio of glial cells to neurons than the average brain. Glial cells support and protect neurons, suggesting that Einstein's brain was more efficient at processing complex information. More importantly, the structure of his brain was different. The lateral sulcus, a deep groove that separates parts of the brain, was shorter than normal. This may have allowed parts of his brain to communicate more freely, enhancing his ability to make connections between abstract ideas. But the most striking discovery was in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for complex thinking, decision-making, and problem-solving. Einstein's prefrontal cortex had an extra fold, a feature linked to heightened intelligence and creative thinking. But here's the problem: Einstein never consented to this. Einstein had made his wishes clear. He wanted to be cremated, his body left intact. His son, Hans Albert Einstein, was furious when he discovered what Harvey had done. Harvey justified his actions by claiming it was for the benefit of science. But others saw it differently, as a violation of personal dignity and scientific ethics. For decades, Harvey held on to Einstein's brain. He kept it hidden, sometimes in jars, other times in a box under a beer cooler in his basement. Occasionally, he would pack the pieces into a suitcase and travel across the country to share them with researchers. By the 1980s, Harvey's life had started to unravel. His career declined, his marriage fell apart, and he was left carrying the weight of Einstein's brain, both literally and figuratively. In the early 1990s, Harvey finally agreed to return parts of the brain to Einstein's family. Other fragments were donated to the National Museum of Health and Medicine in Maryland, where they remain to this day. But the mystery doesn't end there. To this day, some researchers believe that the physical differences in Einstein's brain hold clues to human genius. Others argue that intelligence is too complex to be reduced to brain structure alone. Was Harvey's act driven by scientific curiosity, or was it an ethical breach? Was the secret to Einstein's brilliance hidden in those glial cells and extra folds, or was his genius something that science simply can't explain? One thing is certain: Albert Einstein's legacy lives on. But the story of his stolen brain remains one of the most bizarre and controversial chapters in scientific history. So, what do you think? Should Harvey have taken the brain for the sake of science, or was it a violation of Einstein's final wishes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more shocking, untold stories, make sure to subscribe and stay curious.